Hello Blizzard fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Jaedong and Elfi on Iron Fortress, the latter edition. This is from their round of 32 group stage best of 3 series. And I'm really excited to bring you this series because it's Protoss versus Zerg with Jaedong and Elfi. Jaedong is probably one of my favorite Zerg players, but that's no surprise to anybody because Jaedong is one of everybody's favorite Zerg players. And at the top left, we have the blue Zerg player, whose name I just said 2 or 3 times already, Jaedong. And at the bottom right of the map, we have the red Protoss player. It is Elfi. Elfi is a Finnish Starcraft 2 player who is currently teamless, but still very solid. I've watched a few replays of his recently. Just really solid mechanics. It is said that he plays kind of slow, but his decision making is so solid that it really doesn't matter. His compositions are always good. His placements are fantastic as well, and that kind of makes up for the fact that his APM might not be as fast as other people that he's playing against. Meanwhile, Jaedong plays for Evil Geniuses. His APM is very, very high most of the time, and yeah, averaging 249 APM compared to, look at this, Elfi's 81. So like they're saying, kind of interesting to see Elfi compete this well at this high of a level when he is often considered kind of too slow to play the game. But here he is going up against Jaedong, a very, very strong Zerg player. We'll see if he can hold his own, and I think he'll be able to because this should be a very good series from the round of 32. Basically players have already won a lot of matches to get here, and so there are no scrubs at this point of the game, or this point of the tournament, and we'll have to see how both players go from here. Nobody has really scouted yet. There we go, the probe now coming out, seeing that Jaedong was not in the bottom left. Gonna head up to the top left and get that scout off. No real crazy harassment coming out. Just gonna go ahead into what looks like a Gateway Cyber Nexus expand. So very, very safe to do this. A lot safer than just a Nexus first type of a thing. Lings are chasing this probe out. We're going to slow things just a bit because once Lings are out, things get a little bit more exciting most of the time. We're going to follow these guys. Are they going to be able to kill the probe? There's going to be 3 or more hits to actually get it, and the Zealot's going to be here to help. Decent micro there from Jaedong, but the Ling actually does go down to that Zealot. This Ling still chasing this guy around and actually does get the kill. So a bit of a not really paying attention there from Elfi, and gets an immediate probe kill off of the Sling and gets a full scout off to boot. So here we go, through a forward pylon is Elfi. The Overlord scouts are trying to look for this. I'm not sure if they'll be able to see it or not. We are heading up with this Zealot and this Mothership Core to do some harassment like we like to see in Heart of the Swarm. This Ling is still alive. Look at this. Sees the number of gateways, sees that Warp Gate is being chrono boosted, sees that there is no gas here at the natural, basically says this is going to be some kind of a 7-gate all-in, boo, as the Ling finally dies. Here comes the push on in. There are enough Lings to deal with this Protoss Zealot. He's going to try to get out of there. I don't know if Elfi's going to actually try to use like a recall to get him out, but no, does not sacrifice all that energy. It's just for a single Zealot. The Queen tries to get some shots off on the Mothership Core, but I don't think she could see her until she was out of range. The Ling's also coming up to find this pylon. Are they going to be able to get it? No, the Zealots warping and are able to chase them away. This pylon staying alive, the longer it stays alive, the better it is for Elfi. We do actually have a sentry here to hold the front as well. A third base actually coming down in front of all this harassment for Jaedong. He recognizes he should be able to hold this with enough Lings and these Queens as well. Now he's getting a Roach Warren to deal with this number of Zealots. A good surround on one of the Zealots here and going to be able to take it down. The second Zealot dying as well. A lot of sentries popping in, but they do a bunch of damage to Lings. I think this might be enough Lings to actually deal with this number of sentries and a single Zealot. But Jaedong just being a little bit more cautious. Maybe he wants to bring the Queen in to provide some DPS against this as well. Yeah, going to try to get some shots off on that Mothership Core. Bam, doing lots of damage to her already. The Ling's kind of dancing back and forth, not really committing to anything. They do want to kill this Zealot, though, and they do manage to pick it off. But the other 2 Zealots popping in, nope, not enough for that either. Both of them die. All that's left are 4 sentries, but I think that's enough again to kill these Lings. The sentry's doing a good job. Oh, force fielding off that Queen. They might be able to kill it. Yes, totally trapped. A huge pick off there. Getting that Queen for Elfi. The third base is in peril for Jaedong, but here come a couple Roaches. Roaches are a better answer to this composition than Lings would be, especially slow Lings. I don't think that Jaedong even actually got speed for those Lings. Both players just kind of dancing back and forth here. Not quite sure what they want to commit to. This number of Roaches, I think, is enough to handle this group, depending on how the force fields are for Elfi. But these Roaches want to take down that pylon as soon as humanly possible. Baiting out a couple force fields there. Well played there from Jaedong. Mothership Core actually trying to get some drone kills as long as she's here. And no, that's it. Elfi heads back on home. He knows he cannot handle against this queen and this number of roaches. Jaedong moves immediately on down and does kill that forward pylon. So a nice pickup from him, holding off that early aggression. It's 46 to 44 harvesters, and Jaedong's lair is just about to finish. So that is some pretty fancy stuff there from Jaedong. Blink now coming up for Elfi, our Protoss player. Glial reconstitution for those roaches as well. This is going to be a roach timing push. I don't know what to expect, but what do we have over here? Evolution chamber for that +1 missile attack. Most likely just basically getting drones, overlords, and roaches right now, as well as that speed. So I don't see any intent for Jaedong to do anything but roaches in this game, but we'll have to see what we're going to see anyway. Third base now coming up for Elfi. I don't know how big the army is. Pretty much gateway units right now, which roaches are pretty darn good at dealing with. Here come the roaches. Check to see if there is a third, and there is one. They don't want to try to kill it, though, for some reason. I think they could have got some good shots off, but in the end, Jaedong is being very patient, and he knows more than I do, as he is an incredible StarCraft 2 player and StarCraft 1 player before that. So the roaches come on in, but force fields are pretty good. Oh, Jaedong has burrow. How did I not see that being researched? Whoa! Jaedong has burrow, but I don't think he has burrow move. Which is interesting enough. These roaches trying to snipe units as they can. They do manage to pick off a warping in zealot and a probe as well. These roaches are stuck. They can't go anywhere, but they're keeping this army in place as well. So that's actually pretty nice for Jaedong. Killing a stalker. The 2 cannons are up now along with the mothership core. That's probably enough to go ahead and chase these roaches away. Oh, the force fields, though, catch a couple of them. 2 roaches die, 3 roaches, and the 4th roach dies as well. These guys unburrow and get the heck out of there while the army's out of position for Elfi. They are thankful for their lives. They should be dead, and they know it, but they are not. Jaedong moving an overseer across again, getting that full scout off on exactly what is going on for Elfi, the Protoss player here, the Finnish Protoss player. He does see that there, I think you can tell there is an Immortal coming out of here as well. At the same time, that Blink is being researched. So a Blink Stalker Immortal type push. Overseer does die, throws down some Changelings. Oh, that Elfi does not see, okay, does actually, in retrospect, recognize that those Zealots are not his. And that is it. What did that Queen kill? Did that Queen end up killing an Observer? Was there a scouting probe? I don't know what that was, but something died up here, and that Queen, I think, is responsible for it. Where's that Queen? Nope, doesn't actually have any kills. Maybe a hallucinated Phoenix. That's probably all that was for the scout. Yeah, here comes another one. That makes a lot of sense. 4th base now coming up for Jaedong. Missile attacks level 1 just now completed. Metabolic boost finally being researched for those Lings here at the 12-minute and 30-second mark. A little bit late, but he hasn't really needed the speed, so no big deal. No harm, no foul. Roaches and Lings both with speed moving out now, and Mutas. So a Muta with +1 flyer attack on the way. So Muta, Roach, Ling composition against, 2 Stargates coming up now for Elfi. Against what we pretty much have here is Gateway Heavy with Immortals and Stalkers and Sentries. I don't know. This is an interesting, pretty good balance. Immortals do well against the Roaches. The Stalkers do well against these Mutas, as well as the Sentries. But Guardian Shield coming on up. The Mutas try to snipe on in and try to kill those Sentries. They get 1, but no, not enough to get 2. They're kind of bouncing back and forth here, trying to snipe off units as they can. But moving on out, those 2 cannons is enough to kill a couple Mutas, which is not something Jaedong wants to happen right now. He definitely doesn't want to lose anybody from this flock. He's letting them regenerate right now, using that tissue regeneration ability. 4th base now up for Jaedong and popping those extractors at the same time. He needs that gas for whatever he has planned. +1 melee attack as well. You rarely see a Protoss or a Zerg player get both melee attacks and missile attacks this early in the game. They usually choose to go one or the other, but Jaedong feeling very comfortable. The blink forward, though, killing a couple of those Mutalisks. How many have died now? Units lost tab. 4 Mutas have died. That's a pretty good pickup for Elfi. The bigger that Mutaflock gets, the more dangerous it is to this particular composition. More and more Stalkers should be warped in, and Sentries as well. Sentry's actually doing more DPS to Mutas than you would think. A couple cannons in the back here trying to protect his 3rd base and these probes. It's enough of an early warning system for these probes to get the heck out of there. A couple probes dying anyway, probably unnecessarily, but trying to snipe down this assimilator, preventing the gas collection from Elfi. Are these Mutalisks? They are going to get it. Yes, they do. The Blink Stalkers come up a little bit too early. One of them gets caught out of position and does die. What's happening over here? Another hallucinated Phoenix. Elfi doing a good job scouting off exactly the timings for what Jaedong is planning to do. Meanwhile, getting some Phoenix. There we go. Phoenix with the +1 air weapons to deal with this Muta cloud. A couple more Stalkers getting picked off as well. This is a good position to harass for Jaedong. Are we replacing those cannons? We are not. I think elfi is actually worried about losing them to this Mutaflock. It is so big. Right now it is 25 mutas. Woo! 25 mutas here on the board. That is a large number of Mutalisks. They can do quite a bit of damage to this particular Protoss player, whose name, again, is elfi. Moving on up to check for a base over here, but no, there's a burrowed Zergling that would check to see if there's anything there long before the mutas could. The mutas are probably just flying in to deal some damage to the main, but the Blink Stalkers are here. They are ready. Oh, that Phoenix cloud is so big right now. The Phoenix is going to chase those mutas away. Phoenix plus Blink Stalker is pretty much the perfect counter to Mutalisks. So elfi, again, just making great decisions, great timings. Whoa, Jaedong has 92 Harvesters. Jaedong, that's probably too many, buddy. That's probably too many Harvesters. Again, I know you have 5 bases, which is really good, but man, what's oversaturated? That's probably oversaturated. That's not. This is undersat. Wait. 85 Harvesters. Where the heck are these workers? I guess a lot of them are on the gas, but, Actually, maybe this is enough workers for how many bases he has, interestingly enough. Again, I should not question Jaedong. He knows exactly what he is doing. Right now, he's maxed out. He probably should kill some drones, maybe to freeze up some supply for his workers. What's his end game going to be is the question. Getting some Corruptors that might be Broodlord, to be honest. Getting +2 flyer attacks now as well. The Anion Pulse Crystals, giving those Phoenix an extra range, just makes them that much easier to micro against those Mutalisks. And the Queen's doing a good job spreading creep. We're almost to the giant Zerg logo in the middle of this map, which I love so much. It is so fun to see here on Iron Fortress. A bit of a Ling counter attack with some roaches. Maybe going to try to swing around and try to kill this base, but the probe is going to get here and be sorely disappointed. No, the probe is not disappointed because the observer popped in and saw that burrowed Ling and killed it. Harass again with these mutas, with these Corruptors. 11 workers have died, only 56 now left for elfi. 83 to 56 workers is not where you want to be as a Protoss player, but again, your units are more cost effective. Is that a photon overcharge that just went down? I think it was a little bit late, but that's okay. Mutas fly on again, trying to kill what they can, but man, those Phoenix, look at the range on that. Photon overcharge, killing what they can. I know there are Corruptors here, but I don't think it actually matters for this number of Phoenix. We're going to follow these guys around as they try to kill what they can. The Mutalisks cannot engage this. They cannot. I know they're trying to get in and kill as many of these Phoenix as they can. Reinforcing Overseers or Corruptors do actually get killed by the Phoenix. Woo! Big number attack there. Another attack at the front with these Stalkers, killing Queens that are trying to spread that creep as best they can. A Ling counterattack and Roach trying to force a cancel on that 4th base, and they actually do. Woo! Well played there by Jaedong. He had these group units down here at the bottom waiting just for the opportunity to get up here and cancel that 4th. 15 workers have now died. It is 60 to 79 in favor of the Zerg player. Blink Stalkers are heading on up. They are looking for revenge. The Phoenix are patrolling this 3rd base, but the Mutas are nowhere to be found. The Mutaflock is actually over here. Come on, Phoenix, come get him. Dun, 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 dun. Where's the Observer in this group? There it is, now killing these creep tumors. It's exactly what you want to do. Push back that creep, push back that vision for the Protoss player as best you can. The creep will now start to recede. The Protoss army is at the front door right now, which is pretty darn scary for Jaedong. What the million spine crawlers? Is that where all those workers went? A million spine crawlers and infestors and upgrading to a hive. Is this like a Broodlord infestor play in Heart of the Swarm? I don't know what to expect at all right now. There we go. The Phoenix getting a couple kills on those mutas. How many mutas have died? 20 mutas have died. Oh, the fungal going down though. I don't know if it matters. The Phoenix are taking damage, but they're killing so many mutas at the same time. The Blink Stalkers come in as well and just wreck all of those Mutalisks and Corruptors, and they do force it back. That was a bunch of Phoenix that got lost, but the Mutaflock now is only down. Okay, it's up to 41. 41? Jaedong, you're crazy. Where are all those mutas? Is that right here? That's not 41 mutas. On the units tab when I saw that? No, just 9. Okay. Lost is 41. I pressed the wrong button there. +3 flyer attacks now for these Mutalisks. We are actually getting extended thermal lance right now for the Colossus. I don't know why we need Colossus against this composition. It's pretty much just air right now for Jaedong, especially with that +3 flyer attack. All those Lings would get eaten up as well. Another base coming up for Jaedong. He is feeling so comfortable right now. elfi just barely trying to reestablish his 4th base. Jaedong now has 7 bases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 7 total bases right now. Just so dangerous to let a Zerg player do this to the elfi. Be very, Very, very careful from this point on. You need to actually get out there and kill a couple of bases. You cannot just defend for the rest of your life. He is getting Colossus, and he is also getting Templar Archive. Storm could be good against this composition, but here we go. Phoenix, Stalker, Colossus, Immortal, Zealot, Sentry. Just a big combination here. Big composition coming on up from Elfi, trying to kill these bases as best he can. Guardian Shield coming up as well. There is a single Spine Crawler, but it is no use at this point. The rest of the static defense going down. Oh, amazing force fields catching most of these drones, but they get squeezed through. Whew. A bunch of them survive thanks to a bit of a gap there. And the force field blockade. This base is going to die for Jaedong, or is it? Sending up single Zealot to finish it off, and he does manage to do so. Unfortunately, while he was gone, Jaedong wiped out his fourth base. Just the huge mobility of this Ling Roach Mutalisk composition is really abusing Elfi at this point. He's kind of slow moving, he's kind of big, he's kind of strong. He has to leave things undefended if he wants to get out, and I think Jaedong is happy to trade that single base for a single base of Elfi's, just because that means Elfi is actually down a percentage-wise number of bases more than Jaedong is. 80 Harvesters to 59 right now, getting that +3 Flyer, +2 Ground Carapace, and 60 Lings right now for Jaedong. Lings running up that bottom side, going to force another cancel on this base. I don't know, Elfi, you need to wall that off or something, and there it goes. It gets canceled, comes in, snipes a base, but lost a base in return. We've seen this story before. The Phoenix are here, but these are basically things they don't want to bother using the Graviton Beam on. I want to say Catapult, I don't know why. All the Roaches die, though. And here comes a huge Ling counterattack trying to get in there, but the recall is real. All of these Zerglings getting picked up, and at the same time, Ling's running into this third base, focusing down this Nexus. Are they going to get it before the reinforcements show up? The Colossus is here, but I think it's a little bit too late. The Nexus is going to fall. I think that was pretty much all that was left mining for Elfi. This base is still here, but it is so low on resources. Protoss Probe wants to come over here and reestablish another base, but it cannot. The Lings are everywhere. The Mutalisks did their job for Jaedong in the early game. He has so many bases now, basically toying with the Protoss player, even though Elfi is maxed out at this point. He has 198 supply. Very strong composition, but he just can't afford to leave, or he's going to be in a base race, which is something he does not want to do by any stretch. So long distance mining right now by these probes, still 57 of them left, flying around with the Phoenix, pretty much just hanging out with these Lings. What? Excuse me. There are 23 Corruptors and 8 Mutas and 3 Vipers and 7 Infestors right now. So interesting, but it looks like Jaedong just pretty much wants to win this game with Lings at this point, taking down a bunch of cannons, which is pretty much a win right now. Hallucinating Fix again for Elfi, scouting out the entire map. He is so good, keeping that running at all times. There's the Greater Spire. Greater Spire just about to pop. These Corruptors are going to turn into Broodlords, which is going to slow his army down quite a bit, but I think might be enough to actually siege up and do the damage that he needs to win this game. Phoenix come in, killing a ton of workers. The Queen trying to deal with these Phoenix, but man, their upgrades are good. The Spore Crawler doing enough damage as well to chase them away. The army coming on up, pushing that creep back again. Jaedong relentless with this creep spread almost halfway across the map again. And I assume, yes, Broodlords are morphing in right here on top of these Spine Crawlers. So a bit of an Infestor Broodlord Spine Crawler strategy we have not actually seen a lot of in Heart of the Swarm since the nerf of the Infestor. So, we'll have to see if this actually works or not. Phoenix are here. 63 Harvesters left for Jaedong. He's not mining here. He's not mining here. He's kind of mining here. He does have 10 workers. And I guess he's mining here. So he has more mining bases, although these two are back up for Elfi. So, Elfi might actually have a chance here. But okay, the Phoenix coming in, taking some fungal growth. The Muta's trying to finish him off, but every single Muta I think is going to die. No. Instead, the Phoenix all get cleaned up by these Corruptors and this fungal growth caught out of position. And I think that's about it. That's one single Phoenix left for Elfi. It is a single Phoenix left. Oh no, that is not good news at all. What's the response going to be? Tempest. Immediately Tempest are being made from Elfi, as well as some Archons. A smart choice again against this composition. This is really good though. This is Broodlords with +3 flyer attacks. Their Broodlings I think also have +3. I need to find some Lings though. Are any Lings left on the field to see their upgrades? Yes, there are. +2 armor and +3 melee, I think is what we saw. Moving forward with this static defense, again, this is something that I haven't seen for a long time. I'm going to stop making this point eventually, but the Zealot comes up, takes a few swipes at this burrowing spine crawler, but I think he's going to die immediately in just about 2 seconds here. 1, 2, whack, whack. Taking a few pokes, one more, and he's dead. There he goes. Zealot's coming up here to take down a base that does not exist. The slow push of the Broodlords and the Corruptors and the Vipers. Maybe for Yoink? I don't know what the Viper's going to be used for. I have no idea. Blinding Cloud might be good as well, I suppose. But Creep Spread, good. Creep Spread not quite exactly where Jaedong wants it, but actually going to town on this 4th base that has died so many times. The volley of Broodlings are just too intense to handle. They are +3 Broodlings. They do so much damage. They are free units. The Tempests are here, though. They're chasing away those Broodlords. The Broodlings doing what they can. Storm on top of all of those Corruptors, weakening them greatly. The Archons tearing into them from below, doing plus damage to biological. The Tempests getting yoinked in, though. The remaining Corruptors trying to kill them as best they can. And yes, both the Tempests die. There are Blinkstalkers left. There is a single Colossus left with a +3 upgrade. 2 more Tempests, though, doing a lot of damage here. But the 4th base has died regardless. Blinkstalkers get right on in, trying to kill what they can, but they are fungled. Storms on these Corruptors actually doing a lot of damage as well, throwing down Corruption on these Tempests, doing as much damage as they possibly can. The anti-air is not really here for Jaedong, but I don't know that it matters. The Tempests are chasing away these Broodlords as best as they possibly can. Broodlings getting torn up as well, and somehow elfi survived that interaction. Is going to try to go up and get a counter off here with some of these Blinkstalkers as best as he can. Trying to snipe down a few of these spine crawlers, managing to get one, and a queen going to try to kill this base as well. The drones are evacuating immediately. Jaedong has the best game sense. You're going to see a blink forward is going to catch a bunch of them, but only 4 drones die at this undefended base. I guess there are 3 mining. They're probably going to die as well. Broodlords popping back on in. More Corruptors have been made for that anti-air that is needed by Jaedong to win this match. The Tempests are here, but the Corruptors swoop on in to deal with this. 6 drones have died up there. A bunch of probes dying as well somewhere. I don't know right now, but the Corruptors are throwing down corruption and everything. Air, the Void Rays are here, but it is not enough. There is nothing in the air to stop this whatsoever, and elfi calls the GG, and Jaedong is victorious here in game 1 of their best of 3 series. So whew, that was an intense game. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Falcon Paladin as usual with your daily Blizzard upload. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.